Ecuadorian Amazonia is a fantastic world of impenetrable jungle, dangerous animals and tribes that hide from contemporaneity in their forests. Previously on our show, we started the expedition to the cruelest tribe of the world, Huaorani. We gathered a big company. We have never made such expedition to the tribes and took a trip on the river to the most outlying settlement of the Indians, Dmytro. The next 10 hours I'll spend being totally right. In a day we got to the most dangerous section of our route, the territory of uncontacted tribes. There may be people in the jungle who can really attack. Today we'll continue our trip and get to know Ware's journey through the zone of the tribes who never contacted the civilization we lead. They can kill 2, 4 or 8 of us, because we're unarmed. Now they probably know that we're here on their land. The world inside out with Dmytro Komarov, Ecuador. To find uncontacted tribes of Ecuador is the dearest wish of many explorers all over the world, but it is almost impossible to approach them because they will kill without warning everyone who steps foot on their land. When were they seen last time? A month ago, people went on a boat to the city from Dmytro and saw a woman from this tribe on the bank. They didn't stop and quickly boated further. What do they look like? They're usually naked, with red painted faces, long hair. Men have rope belts which hold male organs. These people are very attentive. They live in the wood and have absolutely different hearing, smell, sight. Yes, they exactly hear us. They have perfect hearing. We need to go along this zone 2 more hours. Everything can happen on this part of the way. I don't know how to describe my feelings. Adrenaline to a certain extent, because they certainly know that we are here. They could see us from the wood. In general, assuming that we can drown, stop in the wrong place, or our boat can break down, they could easily attack us. Why are we moving slower? There is another place nearby where the attack took place in 2016, here around the bend. Right here, in 2016. Is it possible to slow down for a while or not? Yes, but only for a while. It's very dangerous here. Right here, 5 years ago, a married couple passed through. The man was a touristic guide. He took foreign tourists to the city and was going back home with his wife. They stopped on this beach. They were attacked there. The husband was killed. Do you see this snag? It was placed there purposely in memory. You see, we are passing by the snag. 5 years ago, the person was killed here. Rest in peace. And it confirms that we're in the place that seems to be incredible in the 21st century. Here you can be attacked and killed. Let's get out of here. His wife survived. She was only injured. Is it possible to talk to her? Yes, we'll search for her. She lives in Dmytro. We'll talk. On the way Kaigo's parents live, we can visit them too. It's a unique case. We can talk to the person who survived after the attack of uncontacted tribes here in 2016. For me, it's a personal loss because the killed was not only my tribesman, he was my cousin. Your cousin? Yes, Kaigo was a very cool guy. He was a little shorter than me and very strong. He looked like a true Huaorani and had long hair. He was a life of the party, very cheerful and good organizer. He did a lot for our community. Kaigo was 7 years older than me. When he was killed, he was 33. Sorry, it's difficult for me to tell about this. It's hard to imagine that the incidents which the guide is talking about took place not so long ago, but only 5 years ago. Miguel can't blink away his tears. It's scary to imagine that today a person can be spared in such cruel way only because he stayed in this place. And such murder can repeat anytime. After several hours, we leave the dangerous zone at least. We have mixed feelings. We are lucky as people, but unlucky as journalists. I hope to glimpse them to the bitter end, at least from a distance, and I don't give up this idea. So, friends, we've left the territory of uncontacted tribes. The Tagaeri left behind. I see that you have somehow winded down. Now you're simply sitting and looking. Here the river is getting wider. We're further from the bank. It's safer. I see a house. Who is it? Tiro's family lives here. There are people. Tiro! So, friends, this is the first inhabited settlement that we've met on the way. This is just a border with the zone of the uncontacted ones. Locals know that there are invisible lines which are prohibited to cross. Here it is possible to stay. Look, it's cool. One can see that this is a really wild, in our understanding, settlement. Numerous settlements of the Huaorani people are scattered along the river Shiripudo. The large ones, like Bamena, are called communes or communities, and the small ones may even not have names. Here in the woods, straight at the border with the territory of the uncontacted, only one family lives. This place isn't marked on the map. All Huaorani simply know that Tiro's family lives here. How to say hello in this tribe's language? Vaponi Boriki. Hello, welcome to our house. According to our traditions, I shall adorn you. Sasha Dmytro. By the way, show me your pant. Can I see? This is achiote tree. Friends, do you remember we saw achiote during the expedition to Brazil when they came by foot to Colombia? Girls can use it to paint lips. Sorry that I'm showing on you. Achiote is natural makeup. Fruit similar to chestnuts, hairy and soft. An opening. Achiote, quite interesting name. This is a traditional house of the tribe. Friends, this is the first traditional Huaorani house that we've seen. This hut is called onca. In fact, this is a big hovel from palm leaves, which is rebuilt every 7 years. Insects eat the house approximately for this term. I'm entering and at once see a gas bag and a gas fire. It means that Huaorani actively accept that civilization gives them and what they need for more comfortable life. Nevertheless, the house remained like it was, Miguel, how many years ago? Such houses have been built since the beginning of time, then can be even bigger, up to 15 meters in length. A fire was laid in the middle, and hammocks were hung on the wooden pillars. The biggest one belonged to the house father, and theirs were children's. In each room, there are no partition walls here, but there are rooms, virtual rooms. Pillars divide the house. Its father's room, its children's room. How many people does this family have? Almost 20. You live on a territory that closely borders the uncontacted tribes. Have you met them? Ever? Yeah, sometimes it happens. We know where the border with the uncontacted passes. That's why we don't cross this line further than 50 to 100 meters. Today, the Huaorani prefer more modern houses from modern materials. But here, on the border with the lands of the uncontacted, such houses are still being built for security reasons. If the Tagaeri see such settlement, they will exactly know that these people are not foreigners, they are Huaorani as well, because the uncontacted themselves live precisely in such houses. It means that they probably won't attack. How do such meetings usually look like? We don't approach each other very close. We're here, they're there. And you're standing here and carefully hide your nakedness. So, friends, you see, there are no strict rules to be naked or to wear shorts. Do what you want. The boy feels comfortable being naked. He feels perfect. Do you feel good? Yes. And other men wear modern shorts. We live simple life here, growing bananas and cassava, hunting, making some handicraft. Sometimes we bring our craft to the city and sell. We spend earned money to buy axes and machetes. Thin with luck in the wood. Friends, for the first time I see a dog who eats pineapple. I haven't seen it yet. There will be a long way ahead. Thank you. Goodbye. We continue our way along the wandering river Shiripuno to the most remote Huaorani settlement, Bameno. And I rather wash my face, cause I want to make a visit with clean face. You're right, rubbish must be gathered to take care about jungle. Do you see his reaction? How this man loves his home, his forest. He has seen a bag and cut it up because the jungle must be protected. This bag will be decomposing 100 years. How long shall we go yet? It will take 2 hours and a half to Bameno. The guide proposed to visit the family of the killed touristic guide Kaigo on the way. It drives me crazy. We're going to the family where the man died in 2016 who were killed by the lenses. I have symptoms. We simply don't have a right to miss this place. A conversation to these Indians is a unique possibility to get authentic information about the clans of Tagueri and Terraminare received at the cost of Kaigo's life. It is the chance for us to approach the secret of the uncontacted as close as possible. Wow, what a huge house! Are there such houses here? I didn't know they were there. This gorgeous by Indian measure villas complex in the middle of the jungle is an exception from all rules. There is no such second house in the wild jungle, but if trust Miguel, we arrived in right direction. We will obviously make out how several modern houses appeared in the place with no traffic at all. We're landing. I'll ask if we may shoot. In such case, we can't simply burst in. We need permission. Is it okay?
Buenas tardes.
We are met by the brother-in-law and the sister of killed Kaigo, Varika and Vayakava. They are the parents. My name is Tapade. Hello, what is your name? Mayue. Let me sincerely condole with you. We've been at the place where your son was killed. It hurt so much. We experienced together with you. These 5 years after his death are very hard. Kaigo was the most careful and the kindest son, and only now I've started to learn how to live without him. When I saw him last time, he went away not for long. He told me, if I don't come back in 3 days, I won't come back at all. Kaigo left and I was waiting for him. He was absent. At least I heard the sound of an outboard motor and went out to see. I thought it was him, but realized that I would never see my son again. My daughter-in-law came back. She was covered in blood and injured in several places. Luciana told that my son was somewhere on the river. He had been killed. We jumped into the boat and till 11 p.m. we found the place where our son was. He seemed to be sitting in the water, but in fact, he had already been dead. Spears stuck out of him. He was sitting in such pose. There were 27 spear holes on his body. From the investigation that you did, what can you say as an Indian who lives in the forest and understands the types of weapons? What kind of murder? I remember very well all the wounds of my son's body. They were made by different types of spears. Several spears were especially broken, and Kaigo was pierced with a broken of pieces once again. Firstly, the son was hit with a war spear, and then Kaigo's body was riddled with the hunting spears, with all that they had. Here. The war spear was very thick. Let me condole with you again. Probably it is very difficult to describe in words the feelings of the mother who saw her son in such... I don't have words. He was pierced through 27 times. Oh, the blood and liquid flowed through the hose from the spears, and it seemed that he was all somehow shrunken. His body looked withered. I still keep the spear which my son was killed with. Could you show it? He's bringing the spear. Excuse me, I'm even afraid to ask, is it the spear which killed your son? Yes, it was in the body of my Kaigo. It deepened up to this point, and when we are pulling it out, the bits of flesh left on the tip. Such spread heads are made to cause very severe damage. If it gets into the body, it will be impossible to get it out. It entered very deep, and that's how it came out on the other side of the body. The spear entered Luciana only to the first notch, so it was pulled out without mortal damage. I have dreamed, and there is your son's blood here. It's scary to imagine. Parents return their son's body with this spear in it. The explorers periodically find such spears in the forests of Ecuador that are made from the chonta tree, black palm. Thanks to the special form and very heavy weight, spear point of the Huaorani is a power murder weapon. We try not to touch the point with our hands once again because they may be poison. War spears can be 4 or 5 meters in length. They are very heavy. Everything is for the force of impact and guaranteed defeat of the victim. The spear pierces through the body. This spear is obviously decorated with feathers. Huaorani can determine even by appearance of the spears which tribe owned this weapon. Those who attacked were most likely from the Huaorani clan. They decorate their spears with feathers and also with wool of sloth. We don't hunt sloths, but they do. According to the investigators, Huaorani believe that animals' wool and plant fibers give weapon a special power, and they often use oilman's garbage for decoration. In these later days, household items and spears of uncontacted are often found abandoned in the forest, and it's already obvious that these people actively use modern materials found in the wood or in the river. Do you often take this spear in your hands? I've seen you holding palming and examining it. What do you feel at this moment? I feel huge pain. Sometimes I really want to use this spear. In our tribe, it's customary to keep the weapon which was used to kill your familiars in order to take revenge on the killer later. As soon as I saw my son and spears sticking out of him, I wanted to grab them all and to take revenge on the killers. But my children stopped me. I must keep living for them, but I keep the spear in memory of Kaiga. Except the spear, parents still have a few valuable relics. Kaiga liked to make such beads. They are from the fangs of a white bow. This is how men demonstrate their success in hunting. They make beads from the teeth of their prey. It's a symbol of status. Men put them on for the holidays and go to dance. Are you trying on if it suits me? When you put it on, all girls will be yours. I have a wife. Doesn't matter. If you cheat on her, you can say that's the necklace's fault. I won't cheat on her in any case. Have you given it to me? Yes. Kaiga made this necklace about 2 months before the death. He hunted crocodiles, and these teeth belonged to his prey. Crocodile's teeth. Wow. If you promise to treat with respect, if you don't lose or break, we will give you even the necklace of crocodile's teeth in Kaiga's memory. If I take it, I promise that I will be the museum of the world inside out, which we gather little by little, and we will treat it with respect. But I'll ask again, are you sure that you are ready to give it away? That it mustn't be kept here like a memory? It's a family relic. We didn't plan to give it away or sell it, but if it stays in the museum in future and many people see the necklace, then it will be more pleasant for Kaiga. What did Kaiga dream of? Kaiga wanted to develop tourism. Here he is showing the jungle to a foreigner. You can extract water from this tree in the forest, and Kaiga is teaching to drink from it. On this photo he's sitting with tourists. Is it here? Yes. Here's we're showing tourists how to make clay pots. It's difficult to remember it. All that I want now is to sit like on this photo, together with my son. Frankly, I was ready to kill those people, to take revenge on them. But they're uncontacted, they hide. Do you really know how to find them? They live over here, in that part of the forest. When I was young, walking in those forests, I sometimes met them. But my parents asked never to go to them. Our clans were always enemies, and this large house was built for us by the state so that we don't take revenge on the uncontacted for the death of our son. In 2013, a real inter-clan war began. All media of Ecuador informed that contemporary Huaorani massacred an entire village of an uncontacted tribe. It was revenge for the murder of the elders. Dozens of people died in the massacre. Then it became clear to everyone that all traditions were not forgotten. Understanding that the case where the killed Caigo would provoke the same reaction and a real war with dozens of corpses would begin in the forest, the powers decided to appease the Indians with money. How much money were allocated then, Miguel? Approximately $180,000. The government really tried hard not to offend people. They built such giant residential complex. This house is probably 150 square meters. And there are 4 houses like this. That is, this complex is about 600 square meters. There's one more modern house there and there. So it's a cottage town in the middle of the jungle, and I even see the toilet. Is it a shower? Yes. Shower works, friends.
Wow!
Cool jungle. Your jungle is super modern. Your house impresses. It's concrete, high-grade, complete, huge, expensive house. It's fantastic. What a door. Oh my God. It's luxurious. Look, there are concrete columns, welded construction which hold the roof. It's not a makeshift shack. There's electricity, panoramic windows. So by local standards, it's a real castle. What's in this room? The key is on the deck? I won't give you the key. You're always losing it. As in any normal family, the Indians also have conflicts like that you've just seen. You're always losing the key. I won't give it to you. This is simply a stock room. There's the most valuable things here: machete, knives, blades. The size of the building is very impressive. But I want to ask, do you feel comfortable in such atmosphere with tile, smooth white walls, panoramic windows? I keep on this stuff in this huge house. But I prefer in a hammock by the fire. It means these houses, in fact, are empty. How do you plan to use them in future? We don't know yet. Of course, we have children and grandchildren, but even they are still not enough to fill the whole house. We don't know what to do with it. It's a very strange building. It's amazing, but this huge, gorgeous house is useless for the Indians. For refusing revenge for the son, his family actually received our house for $180,000. I want to believe that this house someday will change for the better in the life, at least the younger generation of the family. I already have an idea how to use these premises. If tourism appears here, you have a really luxurious hotel. There will be a lot of tourists here, because you have such conditions that can't be found in any other jungle of the world. It was a dream for our son, that's why we'll realize it. We'll live in the wooden houses outside, and here we'll arrange a touristic center, where we'll invite everybody who wants to come. There will be a runway strip. Caigo began to build it, and now I'm clearing the place. You see, the son worked as a touristic guide, and the father with the family is making an airstrip. People dream that tourists come here. And here, right under the house, Caigo is buried. It's shocking and blood-curdling that the grave of the brutally killed son is in the base of these people's house. I have gym gems only thinking about it. Usually Huaorani bury people rather far off the settlements, but we bury it here as a symbol that the son is always with us even after death. May I enter inside? Sure. Are you standing in that very place where was a grave? Yes, the legs are here and the head is there. Tell me please, are you going to erect some monument or tombstone here? We usually said neither monuments nor tombstones. I'm just clarifying, because for us it seems strange that tile, some socks, instruments, barrel lay on the grave. Yes, it's okay for us. Life goes on. My father taught me, if something terrible happens, you must be sad right away, and later sadness must be left. Otherwise, it will take all your life force. But Maui can say without tears the words about no need to be sad for a long time. What is your religion? We have no faith as such. We are not like Christians or Muslims. We only know that when a person dies, his mouth opens and soul goes out to live for another world where there are no stacks and murders. So you believe that your son is in another world now and he has another life? I believe that sooner or later I will certainly meet him somewhere in another world. Let him feel good in that world. Everlasting memory. We haven't expected to spend so much time with Tapati and Mayu. It was become clear that we will not arrive in Bameno before dark. It's late. Can you ask, please, if we could overnight here? We leave tomorrow morning. It's dangerous to go at night. We haven't accepted anybody for 2 years, but we allow you to stay. Thank you. The next morning, Tapati and Mayu invited to join them for breakfast. You see how breakfast looks like. Water, bananas, potatoes have been mashed by hand. It is something like porridge. This dish is called chukula. Thank you. It's a sour goo. Frankly, to put it mildly, it's not to our taste. It looks like some kind of vomit. Sorry for this comparison. I'm drinking only to show respect and not to offend these people. After breakfast, Mayu is bragging about his wealth. Look, a homemade gun. That's how Indians do it. There is a common hunting cartridge, friends. Here's the striker. It works. It's made so easy. I'm Terminator. I see the second gun. That's it. You have such an arsenal. When food runs out at home, I go hunting. When food runs out at our homes, we go to shop. But for Huaorani, shop is the jungle. What do you use more often today? Gun or spears? Both. This is for boar hunting. It's small and it's easy to throw it. A boar needs to be slaughtered quickly, otherwise it can attack and eat you. Very, very sharp. Among all these goods, there was also something modern. This is a radio station. We connect with other Huaorani communities in such way. Can you talk to some Huaorani now? Bameno, Buanamo is calling. Bameno, do you hear me? Bameno, how is it heard? Radio check. The tribes organized the process of communication with each other in a very interesting way. It's actually very important to be in touch at least with each other and arrange help, inform if necessary. Miguel, what are you talking about now? In Bameno, people worry about where we are and why we didn't come yesterday. Mayu and Tapati answer that everything is okay. We stayed here overnight in Buanamo. Our friend has calmed them down. They've been worrying, haven't they? Of course they have. There is a dangerous site on the river. We thought about it and passed it. That's why everybody worried if we had passed this site. Do you know what really captivates me in your couple? I've been watching you for 2 days and I see how your wife gently strokes your hair, removes it from the ear when there's a possibility. It's a pleasure to watch that your relations with your wife are so warm. We got married when we were about 11 or 12. We've been living together all our lives. What is your secret? How to save such love? Adults taught us the main secret, not to be jealous, but live a full, open and cheerful life. Have you ever given rise to jealousy? Had anybody cheated? We feel good together, and we want to save our family. So even if somebody has cheated, we don't want to know about it. Really? Actually, friends, we all profess the same universal values. They are mutual respect, love, family. This is what unites us and helps to live, help in any situations, help to laugh when we feel glad, and helps to endure hard times in our life. I'm very glad to get acquainted with you. You are really a family which energizes. But it's time to move on. You've given me such a valuable present. I also want to leave you this beautiful wreath in memory of our meeting. And for you, I want to present something from my own collection. It's always in my backpack when I'm in jungle and in wild sites. It's a survive kit. There are many useful things here. Look, try to guess what it is. I don't know, some kinds of bits. If you need to cut down a tree, for example, let me show you. I take any stick, hold it tight. Take the ring. It's a saw. We like it very much. It's a useful thing. Thanks. If you need to kindle a fire in the forest and you don't have a lighter, there is a flint. It's almost like matches. If you are lost and can't find your beloved wife, it's heard far away. Then there is a flashlight. It is necessary in the jungle. Are you able to write? We can only paint. So you can draw something. It's a pen, but it is multifunctional. Its backside is like a spear. This is a small spear which can easily break glass. It's very hard and sharp. Thank you. Will you see me off? You don't simply see me off. It seems you are also guarding me. All the best to you. Is it for me? Thank you. And who will teach me to hunt? I'm not able. It's simple. Take it and throw. Cool. So this will be a natural exchange. You give me a spear, I will give you a thermos. Thank you. You're very nice. Incredible people, an incredible story, an incredible artifact. A real Huaorani hunting spear. These emotions will stay with me all my life. I will miss you. Friends, if somebody of you gets here, come in his huge house. It's the only one here. It's easy to find it. We continue our way because ahead we'll have a unique meeting with a girl who is literally one in a billion. Guide Miguel was kept his promise and arranged a meeting on the river with the surviving wife of murdered Kaigo. This girl is the only person who survived after meeting uncontacted troops. And now she can shed light on the secrets of uncontacted Huaorani. Please try to remember that day. My husband and I were going down the river. Our boat suddenly ran aground and stopped, and a man with a spear immediately ran to the bank. He threw the spear at me, but I dodged. Kaigo jumped up, and at that moment a spear flew past his head. How many people there were? On the bank closer to us, there were Kue, Minua, and Uniwa, and on the other bank there was one more, Kanya. There were 4 of them. How do you know the names of uncontacted people and murders of your husband? They called each other by names. Kue was the chief among them. Inuia and Minua attacked me and wounded my leg and hip, and Kanya attacked my husband from the other bank. What was their approximate age? Kue was about 48, 50. 2 young boys were 18, 25, and it was evident that young people behaved more aggressively. Which of you was hit by the first spear? Me, into leg. Where were you at that moment? I was in the water. You jumped out of the canoe when the attack started. Yes, I jumped out, grabbed a snack. Inua told the chieftain, "Look, what a woman, I will take her as my wife." But the chieftain said, "Don't do it, we've already injured her. She's strong and can take revenge on you later." And what was doing Kaigo at that moment? He jumped in the water and quickly swam to the other bank. He was fleeing from those who were near us, but he didn't notice the man on the other side of the river. The husband was pierced with a spear and was held. I ran through the bank. Blood was everywhere. I managed to jump into the boat, start the engine, and go away. We were told that Kaigo was hit by 27 spears, so you didn't see other hits except the first one. I saw only several first hits. Did you realize at that moment that he wouldn't survive and be saved? I realized when I was going away, my husband shouted after, "Come back for my body!" Kaigo said, "See you in another world. Death will join us." Death will join us. It's hard to listen. Perhaps you are the only person today who can tell how contemporary uncontacted Indians look like. Only you saw him at close range. You miraculously survived. What a day. I remember only some details. Kania, who killed my husband, had short hair, shoulder length. The rest had longer hair below the shoulders. Kue was bearded, thicker than the rest, and had large discs in his ears. The rest were without beards, thinner and without discs. They looked more muscular and stronger than we are. They had cleaner skin, but legs were all in wounds and scratches because they hunt much in the forest. It's an amazing situation. You saw how your husband was being killed. You know the names of the murderers. You remember their faces. Have you forgiven them or not? I haven't. If I were uncontacted like them, I would like to take revenge. Did you have any foreboding? Shortly before the attack, Kaiga had a dream that he was stuck with 100 small arrows. All the blood flowed out and only a skeleton remained. His parents told about it. They told that due to the number of blows with spears, all the blood actually leaked out of him. He seemed to foresee his future. We Huaorani pay great attention to dreams. We think that with the help of dreams, the soul show what will happen to the body in future. 5 days before the attack, I had a nightmare about my grandfather who was killed by uncontacted tribes in 2013. I dreamed that he came to me with a bloody leg, called to go with him, and I decided that this was a very bad sign. It's horrible. Your grandfather was also killed by uncontacted tribes. Why? We think that grandfather communicated with tribesmen. They asked him to bring for marriage girls from our clan, and they would give their instead. Grandfather didn't fulfill the agreement, and that's why he was killed. It's a sensational information. Taruminani and Tagueri clans are considered uncontacted because they hide from others in a distant jungle, avoiding any contacts. The one who decides to step on their territory and contact with them risks his life. And the fact that they themselves looked for meeting with strangers was out of the question, at least till now. You are the first person who tells me about the contacts between contacted and uncontacted Huaorani. Where did you get this information? Did your grandfather just tell you? Actually, my grandfather lived a bit away from the settlement. He had an uncut hut. He didn't wear clothes. He told people of our community that sometimes uncontacted came to him. Nobody believed him. We thought, you never know what the old man fantasizes. And only after his death everybody believed that the grandfather communicated with uncontacted. It's a unique information. It seems that a grandfather whose murder was described in all media was the only one who not only encouraged them, but even conducted some business and negotiations. According to his stories, 2 guys with frizzy bangs and long hair on the sides, with discs in the ears, but without clothes, came to him. They had only comma strings, which are used by Huaorani to tie up penises. They saw knives at grandfather's home and asked what it was. He explained that with the help of it, we could make arrows and many other useful things. Then those guys asked to lend them this tool for some time. The grandfather gave them a knife and a sharpener. How many contacts were between your grandfather and those people? They came 3 times. At the 4th time, they killed him. How did the grandfather die? He and his wife were speared literally in 150 meters from our settlement. They threw 10 spears, 4 or 5 hit them. His wife was wounded. She died not immediately. A spear hit the lung. She breathed hard and while she was conscious repeated, "They will kill us. They will kill all of us." She was dying with this phrase on her lips. When people came, she briefly came to her senses and told how it had happened. What was your grandfather's name? His name was Ompore, and his wife's Boogie name. Our guide Miguel was among those who had run to the place of elders Ompore's murder. I left my studies, came here and saw what had happened. We tried to save the woman, but we failed. These events became the reason of the intertribal war. Just after this, the Huaorani attacked uncontacted to take revenge for the elder. Then everybody was killed. Only 2 little girls were kept alive. Do you remember, friends? Puzzle has formed. Now it's clear why the mass attack began in 2013. Luciana's relatives Amfor and Bugani are those elders due to whom contemporary Huaorani returned to their ancestral traditions. And according to the lower blood feud, they slaughtered the entire Tarumanani settlement. Tell the details of the story. Amfor's children and grandchildren gathered and were hunted down uncontacted for weeks. Did you take part in that operation? No, I didn't. I wasn't finishing my studies and I didn't want to lose my future. How many people did take revenge, and how many uncontacted did they kill? 13 people went looking for uncontacted, and they killed about 60 people, men, women and children. Only one sensation for today. All mass media reported about at least 20 killed, but Miguel says the number is 3 times more. For the Huaorani people, it's incredibly much. Most explorers consider that only 20 Tagari people remained in the jungle of Ecuador and about 200 Tarumanani people. If this calculation are correct, then the attack of 2013 could wipe out the entire tribe. If the group of the contacted Huaorani could find the uncontacted ones, so it's physically possible to find them. Huaorani, after having attacked, leave their home and burn it to cover their tracks. That's why the uncontacted were being looked for during a long time, and now their settlements look completely different. If earlier the territory was rid and house was put in the center, now they hide it under the large tree. After 2 weeks, they were finally found. What do they look like? How do they live? What is the difference between them and the Huaorani of your type? The uncontacted looked stronger. They evidently work physically all the time. They were sitting around the fire and singing. It was about 4 or 5 p.m., but they decided to attack when it would get dark. Modern Huaorani had an advantage: electric flashlights. When the attack started, some of the uncontacted managed to escape to the forest, but most of them were killed. They tried to fight with spears. 2 attackers were wounded. There was a feeling that bullets didn't hit the uncontacted, so spears had to be used. When it was all over, modern Huaorani saw 2 little girls who were staying near the fire. Nobody knew what to do with them. No hand raised to kill. Somebody decided to take these girls to our tribe in order they cooked as chicha. In such way, they avoided death and got to the contacted tribe. We know further events from the official sources and numerous media publications. Investigation has still been underway up to now. From a legal point of view, it was a massacre. But if you look at it through the prism of Huaorani thinking, they used their traditional right of blood feud. And according to Huaorani logic, the state has no right to judge them. 6 avengers were arrested. The huge difference in the murder of killed, mentioned in media, and obtained directly from the Indians here is explained by the fact that most of the corpses were not found. 2 surviving girls, who were taken away after the attack, were placed under the care of the elders of Huaorani communities. The elder girl Konda lives with the leader of Bamana community, where we went our way. In the next episode, we will reach the most remote and famous Huaorani settlement, Bamano. We'll get to know how modern Indians live. Look, it's water. There's internet here. We'll see how they get food. I ask you to take me to gather potatoes in the garden. We'll get to know shocking facts about the chieftain of the tribe who has blood of dozens of people on his hands. We didn't care who they are, we simply killed them. I'll open the secret of the main yummy. The World Inside Out with Dmytro Komarov.